Make sure your spouse knows that you're filing an immigration case. Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. I had something happen on the Immigration Answer show this week that caused my mouth to hit the floor. This guy filed for citizenship on the 3-year rule. So he didn't tell his wife that he was filing on the 3-year rule. The thing is, when you're married to a U.S. citizen, you can apply for citizenship early. You don't have to wait the full 5 years like people who get their green cards through their children or based on employment or asylum or the diversity visa. People that are married to a U.S. citizen for 3 years and who've had their green card for 3 years can apply under what's known as the 3-year rule. And this fellow from Nigeria, he went ahead and filed under the 3-year rule, and he did not tell his spouse. She didn't know that he had applied for citizenship. And of course, in order to win on a 3-year case, you have to prove up the marriage again. And you have to show that you have been living in marital union with a U.S. citizen for the last 3 years. That citizen is going to need to go to the interview. You're going to have to bring evidence to the interview that you're still married, that you're still living together, and that you've lived together for at least the last 3 years. So the idea that he was ever going to pull this off without telling his spouse was insane. But on top of that, when she found out that he had filed it, she thought it was very sneaky. She thought to herself, why in the world hasn't he told me that he's applying under the 3-year rule? Why hasn't he told me that he's applying for citizenship at all? This sounds suspicious. So you know what she did? She kicked him out of the house and she filed for divorce. And that means that he's going to have to wait the full 5 years to apply for citizenship, which is what he should have done anyway if he wasn't planning on telling her. Of course, you need her involvement, or you need his involvement. You need your spouse's involvement. So you can't think that you're just going to skate on by and that it's not going to be an issue. And so she had obviously had problems with him before. He was calling and saying this was the second time she'd filed for divorce. But you have to be married up until the day you naturalize. So because she kicked him out and because she filed for divorce, if they get divorced, he's going to have to wait the full 5 years. So I never thought I'd have to make this video. I never thought I'd have to explain to people, but you need to be honest with your spouse. We had a prior case back in the day where somebody had filed for the green card. This was a case that somebody came and consulted with us. He filed all the immigration paperwork in his wife's name and never told her for the initial green card. And he told her like 2 days before the interview that he had filed this green card case and that their interview was coming up in 2 days. Can you imagine? Can you imagine somebody doing that? Not trusting their spouse enough or loving their spouse enough to be honest and open with them? I mean, what do you think is going to happen when immigration finds out about this? What's going to happen when immigration finds out that she didn't know that he filed under the 3-year rule and then she files for divorce? You know damn well she's going to tell immigration. Same true with the lady who found out the day before her interview or 2 days before her interview that her spouse had filed a case in her name without her involvement. It's crazy. So in any event, make sure that you are telling your spouse everything about your immigration process. You never know when USCIS might come up to talk to just them. You might not be there. So for all the reasons that I stated, but mostly because if you want to have a healthy relationship, you got to be honest and open with each other. Make sure your spouse knows what you're doing from an immigration standpoint. If they get asked by an immigration official and they don't know what's going on, it could really screw up your ability to stay in the United States. I hope this makes sense. I'm surprised again that I even had to make this video, but it is what it is. If you're thinking about applying for citizenship or for a green card and you'd like to work with our office, you're thinking about hiring us, give us a call, 314-961-8200. Email us info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. If you're just looking for free resources, totally okay. As I mentioned, we have our Immigration Answer show. That's a show that I do 3 or 4 times a week where I'm just answering immigrants' questions sort of for an hour straight, seeing if I can add value and educate people about how messed up our system is. And that show appears on our YouTube channel, which you can subscribe to. If you click the subscribe button below, you'll get updated whenever we're going live, and you'll also get updated whenever we post a new video. We also have our Facebook group. That's called Immigrant Home. There's thousands of immigrants in there talking about the immigration process. And you can go in there and see how long it's taking for a visa to be approved in Mongolia or in Madagascar or in Monrovia. So that's a great free resource we have for you as well. And finally, on TikTok, we're at Immigration Hacking, and we'd love to have you follow us there. Thanks so much, and we'll see you on the next video.